Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see fourth-year quarterback Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys as they take on a man miraculously back from injury, Alex Smith, and the Washington Redskins. With that, we'll get up to FedEx Field for the Washington home opener. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, this building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with the Dallas Cowboys. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Alex Smith ready to lead the Redskins here. And many wondered if Smith would ever play again following that difficult-to-watch leg injury suffered against the Texans last season. But at age 35, Smith is back and ready to give it another go. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. And incomplete to open things up. Anthony Brown right there to knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up second down.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. This is Chris Thompson in his 7th season now as a Redskin. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing on third down, Smith. And he finds the tight end, Reed. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and we're in all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. If I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
They'll go with Darius Geis, who missed all of 2018 with injury. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Third and long, it's Smith. He's got Thompson here, complete. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up fourth.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. And, Charles, you see the numbers for Amari Cooper last week. He was the focal point. Big game, up over 200 yards and a score.
And one thing I do know, when you put up numbers like that, the next team you're going to play, unless they're extremely arrogant, all they're thinking is, what can we throw at him that's going to be different and is going to knock him off his game?
Elliott on first down, going to get about 3 before he's taken down. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
It's so good to see big number 72 Travis Frederick back in a Cowboys uniform. Remember, he missed all of last season with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And prior to that, he'd been to the Pro Bowl 4 straight times at center. And his return, a huge boost to the offensive line. Better to have him in uniform than coaching.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. For Zeke, what a first 3 years he's had in the NFL. Last year, his second rushing title, 1,434 yards. Not as many as 1,631 that he had as a rookie, but still his yards per game average was the best in the National Football League. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott. And a throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
On second and 11 now. Smith. Jordan Reed was the intended target. Third down here. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Covers that time by Aaron Colvin.
And that's what he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Eluding the pressure right. He finds Randall Cobb on the completion. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin him back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? Back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
On first down, Smith. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And a healthy gain of 8 here. They double their workspace out to the 16. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 9 catches, 109 yards.
And in the preseason, I thought he was primed for a big, big year. And week 1 did absolutely nothing to diminish those expectations.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. Now, that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week, he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
In your face.
They'll run with Elliott. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now Elliott. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll try to throw now. Prescott looking end zone, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Evan Ingram, the tight end. But now it's 3rd and goal.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Randall Cobb. His first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He gets it in the hands of Geis. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Smith now to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Amari Cooper and the Cowboys set to take over once again. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. With Cole Beasley now in Buffalo, you'd think that might open up some more targets for Michael Gallup. Last year as a rookie, 33 catches for the Dallas Cowboys. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Now Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. A little tough on the secondary there. End zone defensively. Quarterback had time to survey and find a spot.
And if you want to change things up and put a little more pressure on him, you can go to man coverage. Everyone matches up and send more pressure. But you can also do it out of zone coverage if you're worried about what's going to happen on your back end. Send someone else, drop someone else out of the line. The old zone blitz could come into play to try and get that pressure on the quarterback.
Elliott running right. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a... Gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he'd better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
Another try after the first down sack. Prescott got his man there complete to Gallup. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 44-yard line. In Washington territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the 40 now on second down. Prescott, and he's taken down inside the 30. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Redskins' 28.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Prescott finds his tight end Ingram. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They come out here in the eye. The Cowboys on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Such a long drive here. 3 points. That would be a disappointment, but I don't know if you can go for it here, can you?
Well, you know, the defense was really giving them a lot all the way downfield, and now they've stiffened. Forget that bend, don't break. Now they don't even want to let them get a yard, do they? So in this spot, remember what the coaches told us before the ball game? Any drive that ends with a kick is going to be okay with us, whether it's a punt, a field goal, or an extra point. Take the field goal right here.
Let's go, man.
Alex Smith and company heading back out there now. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. 11 yards there. First down. First down now, but the clock continues to move. He's got it complete to Thompson. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Smith trying to get him to the line quickly with the clock rolling. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Smith.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Right here.
Again, Smith. And this one complete to Reed. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10, and he's hit on all 5 of his pass attempts on this drive so far. Here's Smith. Got the connection here to Bourne. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. To the air again, Smith. Open man is Bourne. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Smith throwing again. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Smith. And finding Davis here, the tight end. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. The tank, DeMarcus Lawrence with a sack. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top. As we'll get you down the coast, and just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go!
The Redskins now, their defense coming back onto the field. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Prescott. And he fires one incomplete. Evan Ingram was the intended target, and it's 3rd and short. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one. And of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now, this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. Smith and the Redskins will come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And the drive begins with a run by Geis. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. This is incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down.
When an offense reads blitz, big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
You better be afraid of me. You better be afraid of me. Go.
Now it's Smith. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Kendrick Bourne, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Back to throw, Smith. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On 2nd and 11 now. Prescott. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The DN, Jonathan Allen, making sure his presence is felt. You think back to last year, Dak Prescott was sacked 56 times, 2nd most in the league behind Deshaun Watson of the Texans. Here's Prescott. And that will be incomplete.
Easy work. It's easy work. It's coming again.
It's always a goal that's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that kick will go out of bounds right at the 20-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Now on 2nd and 13, Smith out right to Bourne. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So here are the Cowboys to take over. They were winners last week, defeating the New York Giants. They lead this one as well right now as they come up 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Prescott, they'll set up the screen to Elliott. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Prescott. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. Losing 4 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So a free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic 1st down.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
5 yards on the catch there brings up 2nd down. Boy, you got to think that having the 37-year-old veteran Jason Witten back at tight end is going to be great for Dak Prescott for plays just like that. And you think the last year when Witten wasn't there, it was kind of a rotating carousel. They had Blake Jarwin, Jeff Swaim, Rico Gathers, Dalton Schultz. But Witten back out there and doing his thing again. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Check tight.
Again, it's Elliott. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They have punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what he said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. They feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Oh, yeah. And here we go again.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I'm coming back.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this will be out of bounds at the what here? The 12-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And you're still in this game. I mean, yeah, you haven't scored. Offense obviously has struggled, but you're only 2 scores down, so all hope not lost.
Not at all, because we're talking about the NFL, and teams can score fast in this league. Quick strikes, you're right back in it. You're exactly right. Keeping hope alive.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The throw over the middle taken in, and he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Smith now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Smith, and that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line. 2nd and 10. Smith to throw again. Finding Bourne here over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. Even though this offense doesn't have a single point to its name, they're not totally out of this game yet. A touchdown here, they could be in business.
And how about that last play? Now they've got momentum going, so you know I'm a big advocate. Get back on the line of scrimmage. Throw another play at them while you've got them rocked on their heels.
Check 48 to Mike. I'm coming. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Smith. Complete. Richardson has it. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, you're trailing. It's the 4th quarter, and you've got to throw the football. But the defense knows this, too. So they're just going to sit back, bring in an extra defensive back or two, the old nickel or dime strategy, Brandon, and wait for you to put that bad boy up for grabs. And this one winds up being intercepted.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. Now listen, it's a team game, we know that, but where would these guys be right now, Charles, without their defense? So they take over here following the turnover. Defense did it again, but on offense they have to feel like, hey, we need to do something.
You're exactly right. You just mentioned it. The defense did it again. They bailed them out on a number of occasions in this contest. It's time for them to repay the defense at the least keep the ball for a while. Give those guys a break so they can catch their breath.
Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that. I
think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Here we go. Check 53, Mike. On the ball.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
A first down carry by Elliott. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. Offensively, with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Back-to-back one-yard runs here, so that leaves them with a third down and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Cowboys on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is third and 8. Now Prescott finds his tight end Ingram. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, and that'll bring up second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. To Thompson on the draw. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Out of the gun, Smith. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. 10 yards there, good for a Redskin first down. Now Smith, that's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Looking to throw again on second down. Smith, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun, here's Smith. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, fourth down.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. They snap it to Smith. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none.
Yes, exactly right.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The Redskins going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. They come out here in the eye. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now Elliott fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Evan Ingram, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. To throw again on 2nd down. Smith. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. A shotgun snap for Smith. Over the middle, complete. It's Richardson. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too bland of a statement to say they didn't have the greatest day offensively? I mean,
did enough, though. Did enough, but yeah, you're right.
Most games, it wouldn't have been enough. So they've got to go into the locker room and applaud their defensive mates and say, guys, you really carried us today. We'll try and get you back next time. But as for today, you guys were nails out there.
So for the Cowboys, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.